Hello cuties, and welcome to today's album study. We're gonna be looking at Red Velvet and their new mini album called ReVe Festival 2022, Feel My Rhythm. I'm gonna go through all of the songs. I will try to pinpoint everything that is gonna be vocally important and interesting to point out, and that is also important for the music story. I mean, Red Velvet are queens of vocals, so this is gonna be very juicy. But we're also gonna look at arrangement, harmonies, and just the way this whole thing came together and the whole portrait the whole album is painting. If you do like breakdowns and analysis, then please don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell. If you want to hear me singing, then there's gonna be a link down in the description, along with the link to my website where you can find everything about my singing lessons. And now, let's get into it. So this is what we want from Red Velvet when we're expecting a very impressive vocal performance. This is definitely focused much more on vocals. It's much slower, so it's giving much more space for everybody to develop their tones, for everybody to showcase. And probably my most favorite part of this song is that everybody is singing, including Yeri, which I think I haven't heard her sing before. My bad. I've always focused on her rap qualities because I really adore her in her rap lines, and I've been very surprised. Her voice is much more calmed down, much less animated in the music. She sounded so mature in this song. What we're used to from Yeri is much brighter sound. She's very smiley, very animated with her rap as well. One of the examples is also in the notoriously well-known Psycho, where we are absolutely immediately drawn to her. She's very playful, very cheerful. She brings this huge amount of energy. So to see her in this position where we can actually focus on her vocals and on her other qualities in her voice is really refreshing. It was such a great match to all the other voices as well. Soldier in this song was definitely built as contrast factor. Every time Wendy or Joy are singing, even Yeri and Irene, Soldier follows with such a distinctive change in the tone quality that it's very obviously there. Especially in this place, her tone is perfectly clean. There's no lightening it up with a lot of air. It's very clean, very heavy. That's why she could create such a nice vibrato at the very end there. Beautiful. She definitely carried that pre-chorus. I really like the melody of the chorus, and I really like how they developed it in the second part to create so many beautiful layers. Wendy with her supernatural high runs, and Joy with that very bright color into it. It's just very nice how much layers they can create just because their voices are so diverse. Overall, I think In My Dreams deserves so much more attention, even though I've seen fans, and fans are loving this song. I hope we're gonna get an MV for this because that would be very dramatic. The whole song is dramatic, but hey, we love dramatic. We all understand that not every single song can be balladic and can be super heavily focused on vocals. There has to be also bops and dancey songs, but I'm super happy that this one is on this album. Let's continue.
A box of chocolates.
To be fair, my absolute favorite, Good, Bad and Ugly, has this gorgeous old school R&B feeling that I've been addicted to for years, and they really encapsulated it well. It was not just trying to pretend to be that style and trying to pretend to have that sound. They really did have that sound. They embodied it perfectly. It was really like traveling back in time and listening to a really good R&B soul music, which I am so excited about. One of the very typical attributes of this music are runs and riffs, which usually everybody loves because that just is the spice. That's the spice in the music that we love. And in this song, everybody got to really try it out, really feel through it. And I've been particularly super happy with Joy. There's been a couple of switches into very high head voice. She has such a beautiful, distinctive tone quality. But here she really ventured out and it was beautiful. Let's see.
오늘은 또 어떤 맛일지 달콤할지 조금 씁쓸할지 천천히 하나씩 tasty.
So here she not only utilized her color, but she was stylizing with her voice much more, which is a trend in this song for all the members. I am so happy with that because I like to see singers play around, have fun with their music and with their voice. And in this song, genuinely, a lot of them had a lot of fun. I can imagine that this song in live performances is gonna be amazing. Both Wendy and Solji had this really gorgeous pulled belt. First was Wendy, who absolutely killed it. So Wendy, she's a great singer. She can definitely choose what she's gonna do where and how, but she also is a powerful belter. So if she wants to go with a full, very nicely anchored belt, she can, and she definitely showed it here, which I'm very happy because it was much more suiting for this type of music. Second time, the exact pre-chorus is sang by Solji as well, and we can hear the very huge difference in their tone quality. Both were pulled belts. None of them opted for anything more airy. I'm very happy because they both just showed us how much of a boss singers they really are. And again, tons of beautiful little runs from all the members that I've really enjoyed. Overall, this is definitely a song that you want to put on if you want to have a good day. This is a love yourself song. Okay, another one. This had anything to do with sweet. This had anything to do with adorable and cute. This was spicy. They really pulled an Uno reverse card on us with this one. Not just in that sudden mood twist that you immediately get from this song. It's just so bossy and just so confident, and the lyrics, it's, oh my god, if you listen to the lyrics, you're gonna get that healthy blush going on. You don't even need to put it in the morning. But also in singing as well. For example, we got Wendy rapping, which again I did not expect from her at all. It was very fun to listen. It was definitely a certain type of contrast that was not expected in that song. And multiple members pulled this kind of reverse card and showed us something that is not typical for them, if we can put it that way. But listen to the Wendy first. Usually verses are the one that either include rap or less melodic lines, and the chorus is usually the most melodic line of the song. Here it's actually reversed. So the verses are much more melodic than the chorus itself, and chorus itself is very strong. It has a very dominant beat and is very speechy, which fits into the atmosphere so nicely because yes, it is creating exactly that effect that they wanted to create. And there's also Good Boy mentioned. I mean, two more things that I definitely want to talk about is this Joy moment. Very gorgeous. The way she is still very nicely rooted in the lower tones, but then supports the higher ones with a lot of air to make it so subtle. And then immediately reconnects. Oh my god, gorgeous, especially with her tone quality. And definitely one more point for ReVe as well. She never ceased to amaze me with the way she combines a rap with incredibly melodic lines that go in such high tones that I've never heard it from anybody else, to have a rap line which finishes into this gorgeous run into the placements that a lot of other singers just cannot even go to. So, oh my god. Overall, we got a girl boss song as well. It's a great reminder to stay confident, love yourself. It is very girl power type of vibe. And I'm very happy that Red Velvet kind of brought this to the table yet again, because they do love to revisit this theme a lot. Okay, next one.
Rainbow halo.
Alright, so Rainbow Halo is, for me, the most odd one from this album. Not in a way that it would be bad. I kind of enjoyed the 2000s vibe. It did have a little bit of a 2000s vibe. I can imagine it as a soundtrack to some drama or like some type of OST, like drama called Rainbow Halo. It was not too heavy on vocals. Nobody was heavily belting. Every run that was on the way up was very lightweight, and everybody got to rap again. Wendy too, Joy as well, Yeti, Iron Soldier, everybody just got their little rap line there. I really have to say that those are very nicely thought through. But why is it the odd one for me is probably that I feel like almost this one was put on the album additionally, or it was composed in a slightly different period, because the other songs have just such a heavy connections that if somebody would tell me that they've written them in a week and just encapsulated their feelings within that era or within that time, it's making sense for me. While Halo has such a different vibe. Now, there can be two reasons. Either they want to have just really a song that's going to make a contrast on the album, and it's going to be just different, and it's gonna make it a little bit more rich and colorful. Or they really like the song, and even though it was just a little bit odd to the other songs, they still wanted to just have it on the album because they wanted to release it. I actually did not write anything particularly for this song, just like how I felt the overall vibe and musicality of the song. So yeah, I still enjoyed listening to it, but I'm not sure if I would go back to listening to it again. But honestly, at the same time, it probably might be caused by the way I just utterly enjoy the other songs on the album and how correlating they are. And I've been very impressed by all the songs we've heard so far. So they definitely set a bar very high for themselves. So let's continue. This is such a fun song. I love the little disco sound that they brought. It was definitely fitting. Again, when Red Velvet adapts some type of sound and use it in their song, they don't just mimic it. They really adapt the sound and do it the right way. So if we want to do a little bit of a dancey disco that just doesn't let anybody sit down, just force everybody to just get up and dance, you have to do it properly. And they really did that justice. Even the bridge is just so needed in this type of a song, because you want to have like a little bit change of the mood. And in these types of songs, it's just very religiously used. We got Yeti in her very typical position. When I've talked about her rap that is just so nicely recognizable, this is what I meant. And And so starting a little bit melodically and finishing it with much straighter, like almost speechy type of rap. Oh, and I have to mention one more detail that Seoji actually did, because she developed one tone so beautifully. It was like a textbook development of a tone here. So it's very audible. She starts from a nice placement, she fixed the placement, and then she opens the tone. So, and slightly bigger. Oh, it's just so nice to listen to. Seoji is very technical, and I love to listen to her sing because she surprised me every single time with how detailed she actually approaches her singing. And when we talk about the main chorus, I am in love. They did very heavy reverb on their voices, which just sounds really, really nice there. But they combined this bubble pop, I call bubble pop this poppy music that is just very bubbly, very happy. And they combined this bubble pop with electric guitar, that little disco beat under that. And I might just be in love with that, because that created such a fun sound, because they elevated it with that electric guitar, which brought much more substance into this. So it was not just a light, happy, poppy little chorus. It actually started to be so layered, and there's been this contrast between their very high set voices. They actually opted for a super high chorus. Again, vocal queens. I know that this is the album where we're claiming the spring, but this is gonna be my summer bob. Just a flowy dress, a drink, and water. Okay, so this was exhausting, but so super worth it. I love the album. Let's talk about it a little bit. There is one more song on this album, which is called Feel My Rhythm, and I actually did an in-depth reaction and analysis to that in a separate video. It's gonna be linked somewhere here. Overall, this is a no-skip album for me. Maybe Rainbow Halo for me is a little bit weaker than the rest of the songs, but again, Red Velvet has this tendency of setting a very high bar for themselves. So in comparison with how strong other songs are, it does fall back a little bit for me. And again, please don't eat me alive in the comments. This is just my personal opinion and my personal preference. There's probably going to be a lot of people who maybe are going to adore Rainbow Halo and it's going to be their favorite one from the album, and that's perfectly fine. But this album overall screams for me confidence and self-appreciation and self-love. I think the songs are very well balanced. When it comes to vocals, absolutely great. Like, I feel like I am absolutely 100% satisfied. Like, I've got everything in this. I've got everybody singing, I've got everybody showcasing their abilities. I don't feel like anybody was falling behind or just lacking on the album. I think ReVe Festival 2022 is very well thought through album. I almost feel like it's them taking care of their fandom. It boosts the confidence and boosts just everything that is very positive in the way you perceive yourself. And I cannot thank them enough for this, because I know so many people need it right now. So let me know how you enjoy the album and what order of the songs you prefer the most. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe right here. Here is my reaction and analysis to Feel My Rhythm, and here is rest of my Red Velvet reactions. Please stay safe and healthy. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.